Welcome to Three Shells Deep. If you've been here before, it may be a little bit confusing to you because we were just previously Rocky TV. We've been that for a couple years now, but I just decided that it was time for a change. I felt like Three Shells Deep was a little more fitting to what we do, the content we make here on YouTube. So let me know what you guys think about that. We're Three Shells Deep now. Let me know what you think about the logo and all that jazz. I'm pretty excited about it, so I'm anxious to get your feedback. But that's not the reason we're here today. Obviously, what we're here to do is talk about this bad boy right here, the Swamp Stick. Now, the Swamp Stick is a super versatile accessory to have with you out in the field. I have used it for the entirety of last duck season. I've used it this teal season. I've really put it through the test. In fact, I thought about cleaning this bad boy up for you, making it all pretty for the video and whatnot. But, you know, sometimes when I see reviews and everything is all sparkly clean, I kind of wonder, like, I mean, have they used it? So there's no denying. There's no denying this. It's dirty. It's nasty. I peeled half the sticker off. Not really peeled it, you know, kind of came off on its own. But yeah, you can tell that I use this, right? So I'm going to give you an honest review on the Swamp Stick. But I will say it is probably one of my favorite purchases I've made regarding duck hunting in a very long time. Now in this video, I'm going to get into the pros and the cons, but first I want to show you some of the features of the Swamp Stick so you can decide for yourself if it may be something that you may want to get. Let's go over some of the features real quick. The Swamp Stick is designed to fill a whole bunch of needs while you're out in the field, and for me it really does that. It is a lightweight aluminum pole. It's powder coated. It telescopes out to 6 feet, really over 6 feet. It's just 6 feet, not counting this spade down here. The spade at the bottom is a heavy-duty steel, obviously, so it can hold up to being pushed into the ground, but it is surprisingly stable on top of that. Up top here, it's got 2 gear hooks that are made out of aluminum, and then it's got like a soft touch kind of rubber coating on it so that things don't slide on and off. You may notice on their website, if you go to the Swamp Stick website, which will be in the description down below, they show some that have a different hook. I talked to the guy. He said that they switched to these hooks. This is what they're using now. They're kind of these L-shaped hooks that have the rubber coating, that have these ridges in it like this so that you can set, say, your shotgun with a gun loop or your shell bag on it and not have to worry about it sliding off. It's also, this design is a whole lot better at being able to, say, take your gun off quickly and not have to worry about catching yourself on like a hook. And I will say, too, these things are like pretty heavy duty. They're just riveted in here. But you would be surprised the amount of weight that I have put on this thing, the amount of weight that this thing will hold. And then down here at the bottom, you can see we've got another L-shaped hook. This is for stepping on so that you can help push the pole into the ground. I'm a big boy. It supports me, so it'll probably support you. You can see it's riveted on. It's riveted all the way through. Really cool. And it also, when you get it pushed in up to that point, it also serves as a foot to add some stability to the pole. Now, if you go to the Swamp Stick website, you'll notice that there are multiple different models. And this one here is the Swamp Stick Ultimate. If you look at the top here, it's got a little attachment accessory at the top that you can use to put like your motion decoys in. And it's designed to fit like all of the major brands. So like Mojo, AVNX, Lucky Duck. All of them will fit into this. You use this little screw right here to kind of tighten it in. And it allows you to put your motion duck in there and then telescope that up to, you know, 6 foot or beyond so that you can use it in deeper water, which is a really cool feature of it. And it's just a little $10 upgrade. I think for $10, that's pretty cool. And you'll also notice that when you use it as, say, a motion decoy pole, that one of the cool things about it, too, is when you're telescoping it up or whatever, you can spin it so that if you need to spin it into the wind or the wind direction changes, whatever, you can go out there, unloosen this clamp, and then just spin it rather than having to pull up the whole pole and resync it in again. They also have the original Swamp Stick, which is essentially this stick here, just without the attachment at the top to put your motion decoys in. And they have, I believe it's called an instant blind combo, which is 2 of the original Swamp Sticks that also comes with a 5x10 wetland camo netting. And I have used that. That's the combo I got. I have used that combo to death, man. And the camo netting that comes with it is actually really high quality. I've bought probably 1 trillion camo nettings in the past, and I have gotten that camo netting wrapped up in all kinds of craziness, right? Because I like camo nettings, but when I get in the field, I still want to put sticks in it. I want to add some depth to it. I have had so much stuff wrapped up in that camo netting, and it has not torn at all. I mean, for a netting to last a year with me and not be torn, that's a real testament to its quality, because I have really put that thing through the ringer. And I really feel like the netting looks good too. Like it has the little cutout, so it creates some depth. It's high quality, but essentially you just put, you know, your 2 sticks down, and then you can hook your netting onto these gear hooks or over the top and just set you up a little blind wherever it is that you want to sit. Now there's also a motion decoy pole, which is this pole just without the gear hooks at the top. If you want to use it just for, say, like a wading stick and you know, your motion decoys. And then recently I saw on there, this is new since I ordered the stick, they have like a turkey hunting / shooting combo stick that at the top has an actual like gun mount, like a V gun mount. And you can take that mount off and attach like your GoPro or a DSLR camera or spotting scope, something like that. I thought that was really cool too. You'll find that the Swamp Stick comes in, I believe, just 2 colors, and it's this tan color, or it's like a forest green color. I have both of them. I tend to use this one because the majority of time that we're in the, you know, out duck hunting, everything out here is dead, right? There's not much green left. So I tend to use this one, but it's cool that they give you options on colors as well. So let me give you a couple of quick pros and cons on the Swamp Stick here. First and foremost, it is extremely versatile. That's pro number 1 if you haven't picked up on that. I don't know. I've probably said versatile more in this video than I ever have in my entire life. But it really is that. I use it all the time. It's always coming with me, but I use it all the time as a wading stick. I mean, even if I'm not hunting, I use it and I'm gonna get out in the water, I'm scouting, hell, even if I'm fishing, I bring this with me as a wading stick. Where we hunt at on public is just nightmare mud. I mean, the mud that you just sink up to your knees, your legs are tired by the time you're done walking to where you're going. And this has kept me from face planting numerous times. I also tend to use it as like a tool to help retrieve the decoys because I'm lazy. Well, mainly because of the nightmare mud walking through that. But like I'll stand in one spot and then, you know, telescope it out and reach and use the foot part here to kind of help me pull my decoys back in. And then you can hook your decoys on your carabiner around this. So I use it a lot for retrieving decoys as well. I talked a little bit earlier about how I used this in the quick blind setup with the camo netting, but it's kind of dual purpose with that because whenever I put this in the ground and I put the netting between my 2 swamp sticks or between this and a tree, I always leave this free. I normally try to hook it around the top here, and then my gun sits here and my shell bag sits here. My shell bag holds like 2 boxes of ammo. So one side's got 2 boxes of ammo, the other one's got my Super Black Eagle 3, and it does a fantastic job of supporting all that. And I'll go ahead and say too that I have never had a problem quickly getting my gun off of this L hook. Like I normally set it, I mean, obviously the closer you set it to the pole, the better, right? The more stable it's gonna be. But I've never had it catch. Just this design, for whatever reason, with the gun loop that I have, and I can't remember off the top of my head. If you're curious which gun loop I use on my gun, hit me up. I want to say it's Lifetime. Do they make one? I don't know. But if they did, it's probably that one. But anyways, I've had 0 problems getting that off and getting a good shot. So I've been really, really happy with that. I've used it as a motion decoy pole, obviously, though not a whole lot, not as much as I thought I was going to, because we always hunt shallow, right? So, I mean, I've used it as a dove pole, but I haven't used it a whole lot as a waterfowl pole. But I could definitely, I know there's guys of you, I know there's some of you may be interested in that. But I normally am hunting in pretty shallow water, so that aspect I haven't used a whole ton. But I've also used it as a shallow water anchor for my canoe as well. So when I'm out there, I'm in shallow water, I anchor it. That's kind of self-explanatory. But no, you just drive this into the ground into the water next to your canoe and then tie off to it, and it does a really good job of keeping my canoe where it should be because I haven't bought an anchor on that thing yet. Now, I also need to mention that they have an absolute ton of accessories that they sell for this. A bottle holder, a shell bag, a rod holder, camera mount, overhead light. This pole does a ton. And did I mention it's versatile? Pro number 2 is that this thing is extremely stable. I have put this thing in the ground in Texas heat especially till season, in places that I had no business trying to put this thing into the ground. And even with like very little penetration, it held my gun, it held my 2 boxes of shells with no problem at all. It held the decoys. I was actually really impressed with the way that this performed on dry ground. Obviously, it does even better in wet soil, and you would be really surprised the amount of weight that this thing will hold. So let's talk, pretty dirty. So let's talk about the cons now, all right? The biggest con to me, if you use it as a wading stick like I do all the time, if you're going through certain grasses or moss like this footstep will occasionally get wrapped around the moss or wrapped around the grass, and it's kind of a pain to have to pull it free. That doesn't happen to me often, but I did need to mention it because it is probably my biggest con. But I will say, when I was speaking to them about the Swamp Stick, I emailed them, they said that you can actually request to have this removed, or, well, you could remove it yourself, but you could request to get one without the footstep if you didn't think you would use it anyways, and then that solves that problem to begin with. Also, I was looking at the website, and I don't know, don't hold me to this, go see what you think. You can even shoot them an email, but it looks like this year they have started using bolts, so maybe they've bolted through this with a nut on the backside so you could take this on and off if you wanted. I saw they sell parts, you know, if something like this went bad, and I saw that the parts had that. So anymore, it may be as simple as just unbolting that if you didn't want to use it for a specific hunt. My second con is going to be that I don't want to say it's thin aluminum. It's definitely not thin aluminum. It's definitely not like thin aluminum, right? But you do have to kind of be aware, like when you're packing it in your truck, what you're packing it next to, is something something heavy gonna fall on it or whatever, because you could end up with some dents. I've definitely had that. Actually, the only dent that I have in this one is right here at the top. I feel like this part here, it almost looks like it's 3D printed. Again, for a $10 accessory, that doesn't really bug me, but I had it next to something fairly heavy that rolled on it and it dented into it. It still works just fine. Something to be aware of. And if I was going to add a third con, listen, I could go on pros forever. I've made myself stop it too. But if I was going to add a third con, is this. I don't know. Maybe they changed something, but like the sticker, it doesn't need to be there. It's just it came off like the first day, tore it into something, and then it's one of those deals where like you can try to peel it off, but you peel off tiny little sections, and if you want to spend 16 hours getting that off of there, you can, but I don't think it needs to be there. Maybe they can find a different way to do that or just leave it off altogether. But every once in a while, I don't know, aesthetically, I get a little mad at my half sticker. Don't judge me, we're all weird, okay? So the big moment, let's talk about price. The original Swamp Stick, this stick right here without the motion decoy attachment, comes in at $100. This stick, as is, $110. And then the blind combo with 2 original Swamp Sticks and that camo netting, $220. Honestly, a very fair price, very fairly priced with like their competitors. Actually much cheaper than some of their competitors for a very comparable product. In my mind, really a better product. So when I ordered it, it was a little bit cheaper. That was I think that was like last July 2024 or something like that is when I ordered these. They were probably $35 cheaper at that point, but they went up. What hasn't? Don't get me started on that. I'll start using this thing as a weapon, take some heads off. Anyways, let me know what you think of the Swamp Stick. What are your thoughts? What are your initial thoughts? Leave them in the comments below. If you have any questions, you can leave them below as well. Like I said, I've got more than a year worth of use in this thing, so I'll be glad to answer those for you the best I can. And I'll say that when I emailed Swamp Stick, I spoke to Sean, who is the owner, directly. He was the nicest guy in the world. He was super quick with the replies. He gave me all the information that I needed to know. He was a really nice guy, really easy to deal with. I couldn't have been happier with that interaction at all. And again, I'm super curious what you guys think about the new 3 Shells Deep channel name and the logo, all that kind of stuff. I feel like I want to put it on shirts and that kind of stuff. So just let me know what you guys think about that. Give me some feedback there. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel, okay? I plan on doing a lot more channel reviews. I plan on doing a lot more product reviews, and I have product reviews already here on the channel. I'm going to do a lot more of that, and then, of course, we've got all our duck hunting stuff. We've got fishing videos, all that. So if you're into hunting, fishing, outdoors, product reviews, this might be the channel for you, okay? I'm just saying. Drop a sub. Hit the thumbs up because you know that helps, and almost hit the fan. We'll see you next time.